Here are 5 categories associated with ways that you can make money. Welcome to the classroom. Today, we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can make money very easily. And this works for anybody between the ages of 16 and 25. So if you watched the previous video, which I'll show here, basically you'll understand that being broke is not about not having money in your pocket or having a wallet that's empty, right? It's a mindset associated with saying that I can't do things or not having the resources or means to do something, and changing that over to saying it's not I can't do it, it's I don't know how to make that possible right now, but I can figure it out. And I gave you some challenges in there. So go ahead and watch that video and then come back to this one. But if you already watched that video, which links to this one, you're already on track. Here are 5 categories associated with ways that you can make money. What do is go over a whole bunch of ways. I'm not going to tell you to download Clash of Clans and play all the challenges and do the surveys. None of that. We're talking about legitimate business ideas associated with supply and demand, finding ways to make money, right? And the first one, you've heard of this. If you've ever been around money at all, you've definitely heard of this, right? And that's going to be seasonal jobs. Now, when I say seasonal jobs, what do I mean? Well, there's 2 types. There's outdoor and there's indoor, right? So if you think about it, outdoor seasonal jobs would include cutting grass, shoveling snow, weeding, gardening, mulching, driveways, etc., right? Those would be considered outside seasonal jobs. Indoor seasonal jobs would be working at a fast food restaurant, would be working at a department store such as Macy's or DSW or Nordstrom. Those would be seasonal jobs. And seasonal meaning they're for a short period of time. They may be part-time, they may be full-time, but they're not meant to be consistent or available year-round. That's what I mean by seasonal jobs. So you can cut grass in your neighborhood. You can shovel snow in your neighborhood. If you live in California, stick to the cutting grass option. And if you live in Alaska, stick to the shoveling snow option, right? But once you're 16 in most states, you're legally old enough to apply for a job to work seasonally. So that's over the summer, winter breaks, because again, you're still in school at this age. Between the ages of 16 and 25, you're still in school. So seasonally, this is a way to kind of get your bread up, add a little bit of extra income. The first option. The second option, I want to preface, again, I didn't start at the beginning of the video, but I do want to preface by saying I am by no means a financial advisor. These are just suggestions. This is not financial advice. You don't sue me for none of this. Now, moving on, the second would be selling candy or snacks. At this point in time, tailgate season's coming up for football, basketball season going to come up soon, and then track is going to be more so in the spring, fall, winter. No, track's going to be more so in the spring. It's indoors in the winter, and then you're going to have baseball season's going to come back around. Also, Halloween's coming up, and then at the end of the day, kids in school like candy, right? So you can go to somewhere such as Costco or Sam's Club, and you can get, especially now during all the Halloween candy's out, you don't even need to go there if you don't have those memberships. You can go to a Walmart or a Meijer. You can get bulk candy you get a giant bag of candy, $10, $20. And then you can individually sell it just like the vending machine does. You can put so much of it in your bag and you can sell it to your friends for a slight upcharge. So let's say if you did the math, you bought a box of, 20 shareable Skittles, and that cost you $5, right? $5 for 20 shareable Skittles. So if you break that down, each dollar that you spend is going to be approximately 4 bags of Skittles, which would mean that each bag of Skittles costs you $0.25. So how do you make money, right? Great question. Probably already thought of the answer. Just double what you paid. Now you have what's called a 50% margin. And a margin of profit just means money on top of your expenses so basically the money that you make back to break even, the margin is anything you make on top of that break even. So if it costs 25 cents a bag, sell each of the bags for 50 cents. To the people buying it, it's convenient. It's not that expensive. No one's going to think a bag of Skittles for 50 cents is expensive. And think about it. If you sell 20 bags, if you had 20 bags at 25 cents each, you'd make $5. If you sell them for 50 cents, you make $10. So now you've made back your $5 from the first bag and you have another $5. And you can keep doing this over and over. You can have Skittles, you can have Snickers, you can have, chips and Doritos. You could even get like Gatorade, again, though with beverages, It just depends because, again, that's more of a preference thing associated with some people like this Capri Sun, but not that flavor of it, right? But if you think about, if you go to like a football game or a rave and there's a concession stand and they charge you $5, $6, you right outside the gate, like, hey, I give you the same thing for $3. Tell me people are not going to eat that up. No pun intended, right? So that's the second idea. Third one, resell old or secondhand items. Now, this is a great one for two reasons. One, you can do this with zero capital or with capital. And here's the two ways you do it. The one with zero capital, everybody has junk in their house. Things they're going to throw out, declutter, haven't used in 6 months, forgot they had it, outgrew it, whatever the case may be. You can resell those with a free eBay account. You can go on eBay, set it up as a seller, take some pictures of it, write a description, upload it. Simple. Somebody buys it, you ship it to them. No questions asked. Okay, they have some questions, but obviously, as you can see, that's a super simple way to do it. And then if you have some capital, and let's say you are just the perfect person, you have no junk in your house whatsoever, highly unlikely. But let's say that's you hypothetically. You could take some money and go to a secondhand store like the Salvation Army or Goodwill, and you can buy different things. And before you buy them, you can actually go on eBay and look at completed listings and see what's been selling in the last couple of, I think it's about the past 30 days. You can look at all the completed listings and how much they're selling for. If the price is black, it didn't sell. If it's green, it did sell. So an example was a couple years ago, there was this Pokemon game that I saw. It's the cartridge for a 3DS. I was like, interesting. I knew Pokemon was somewhat popular with 3DS, so I picked it up, I looked at it, and the actual game cartridge was $4. I looked on eBay. They had been selling, this specific one had been selling on eBay for $30 each single one, and they were selling a lot of them. So I said, let me buy this. So I bought it for $4, and it was small enough. I got a padded envelope from the post office. It cost me like $3. I was able to ship it for, I think, $2, and I sold it for the same 30. So if you do the math, $30, I bought it for $4. The envelope and shipping took about another 4 or 5. Let's just round up, say 10. $30 sold it, $10 expensive, $20 change in the pocket. Guess who's going to the movies now, right? So that's how you do associated with reselling old or secondhand items. And this also kind of works into a garage sale, but with a garage sale, there are permits you have to get. So that's why I didn't include that in this one. All right, so for these last two, I wrote them down because they're somewhat similar, but different in ways. So if you look at this list, this is a service, this is a product, this is a product, this can be a product or a service, and then this is a service. So those are usually the two ways that you can make money: product, services, when you're trading your time for money. Because again, this is just a level 1 way on how to make money in your 16 and 25. There's ways to do it passively. I'm still learning those. And there's ways where your money is working for itself, which is basically passive income. That's not what these are. These are you're trading your time, experience, or work for money. It's not the best way to get wealthy, but it's a way to make more income when you're starting from the bottom, trying to get to that point where now you have money to invest in the stock market and your money's working for you now, right? So these last two, sell arts and crafts of talent, for number 4. So if you've ever seen on TikTok those edits for like a reel, for example, or if you've ever seen social media managing accounts, all they're doing is they're using their talents and ability to market, edit, create different things. Somebody's paying them to do that because they don't know how to do it or don't have the time to do it. And you'd be surprised. This right here, very high ticket potential here. If you get really good at something like video editing, like let's say you know how to master Adobe, you can charge some serious prices associated with just an hourly rate for editing or making a reel or coming up with, graphics. There's literally majors for it in college associated with graphic design. So if this is something that you just do in your free time, I have a friend, he just draws comics. That's what he does. Like, it's what he does in his pastime. He finds it fun and enjoyable. There's ways to monetize this. He can become an illustrator or an editor part-time for somebody, or you can get on something like Fiverr and offer your services for, a fee. Somebody can hire you, bam. Now you're making cartoons for money, right? And this last one would be teach, mentor, or tutor. So this one is more if you have an expertise or a lot of experience in something, more so than the person that you're tutoring. A lot of people have the misconception that if you're going to tutor or teach something, you have to, have done it for so long or be so old or have so many accolades. And there's a lot of proof to that associated with basically that's the social proof and saying, oh, if you're an NBA player, then obviously you're going to coach me in basketball. I have a better chance of going to the NBA versus the guy who's in eighth grade. But if I'm in second grade and I don't know how to shoot, and the guy in eighth grade doesn't know how to shoot, to me, he's at a higher level. Would I necessarily pay him for that? Probably not. But just think of it in those terms, right? So for teaching, mentoring, and tutoring, I'll give you a great example. So I recently picked up boxing, right? And I could have went to a gym and signed up with a regular coach, personal trainer. That would have been cool. But one of my friends at the local gym I go to, I saw him boxing one day, and I was like, "Oh, you box?" He said, "Yeah." So he's been working with his friend, and he's an amateur pro. And so I said, "Oh, well, can you show me the basics associated with that?" Now, a lot of you guys, with your homies, you'll ask them to do stuff, and it's just like a favor. That's one for the pros, right? But I said, "Hey, tell you what, you show me how to do it, and we can do it consistently. I'll pay you." So I pay him, and we'll work and train for a certain amount of time, usually like an hour or two. I mean, obviously we're homies, so but I wanted to show that I value his expertise and I value his experience. So I'm going to pay him for that, right? So that's the way you can make money. I've also played piano for multiple years. So if there is, for example, someone who's trying to learn the basics of piano, scales, fingering, I could tutor them in that, right? So there's a bunch of different things that you may have experience in that you feel, you really can't teach somebody about, but people will be willing to pay to learn. You'd be surprised how much somebody will pay just to learn from somebody that they view as competent in something, right? So let's say a lot of you guys play Fortnite or a lot of you guys play video games. And let's say there's somebody who they really want to speed run their skills, be invited to the LAN parties, they want to play with their friends, but they just can't get better. I promise you, if there was somebody who could tutor them on how to play the game, most guys just kind of learn by playing with their friends. But if they couldn't figure that out or they're really antisocial, if you put an ad up and said, I will coach you over Zoom how to do this or coach you in person, I'm pretty sure somebody would take you up on that. You'd be surprised. Like the things that, like when you really start to think about solving a problem, that's all making money is. You're solving a problem. Once you start to think about life as problems and solutions, ways to make money will just kind of fly out of your head, right? So, like I said, these are 5 ways to make money. We have seasonal jobs. There's going to be indoor or outdoor, selling candy or snacks. Again, make sure you check with local ordinances to make sure you don't need a permit or something so you don't get in trouble with the law. Reselling old secondhand items. You can use eBay, Craigslist, garage sale. And you can sell old junk, or if you like, you can research and do what they call, it's basically flipping, product flipping associated with different secondhand things. A lot of people do sneaker flipping, that's pretty popular, or fashion flipping is another one. You can sell your art, sell your craft, or a talent that you have. So again, you're someone that's good at video editing, making content. That could be something potentially, or maybe you crochet, sock monkeys or sock puppets or something like that. Or you do something with customization, whether it's backpacks, clothes, shoes, etc. People will pay for these things, right? Because it's your time and your expertise and your talent. And then the last one is teaching, mentoring, or tutoring somebody in something. So again, everybody in school, you struggle with something. I've had tutors, I've been tutored. So there's always something that you can teach someone because there's always something a little bit more about than somebody. And if they see that as valuable enough, then they will pay you for it. But these are 5 ways to make more money. Make sure you like the video, comment down below which one of the ideas you have done and which one you didn't know about or which one you'd be interested in trying. And until next time, peace.